Hello everyone, and welcome to the 15th episode of my Ultimate Decades Challenge. Today we are going to start off by righting a wrong that occurred in the last episode, which of course was our dear little Tommy. I have officially added him back into the Heidelbrand household, and we will be starting off today's episode by doing his proper death roll this time. I don't know why I'm struggling so much to do the right death rolls, but I'm glad that you guys have my back and are keeping me in check. However, for the rest of this episode, I'm also hoping that we'll get the opportunity to make some more money in both of the households, as well as take the Hastings children out for a bit of fun. So with all of that being said, I think it's time that we just jump straight into the episode. So here we are in the Heidelbrand household again. As you guys would have seen, I did have Abigail come over and start on some breakfast for everyone. I also do think it's important that I show you guys little Tommy, who I did add back, like I said. We will be going on to his death roll soon, but I thought that breakfast might be the top priority this morning, since I do want to ensure that all of our Sims' needs are up to par. So let's have Abigail come over and call everyone to meal quickly. I'm not really sure where everyone is. All the girls have actually decided to come out and play in the snow, which is good since this is actually their last day that they'll probably be able to play in the snow, since we did turn over into spring. Oh, and Arthur has even come to practice some of his archery. This is weirdly a quite productive morning, which I wasn't really expecting. However, I do want everyone to stop playing. Let's come and have some breakfast. And they all finished that way too quickly. I don't know if I'm ready to do Tommy's death roll. See what I mean? I don't think Neville is either. Him and Honora have actually come over to just sit with Tommy, and I think that's the cutest thing ever. But of course, as per the challenge rules, I am going to have to do his death roll. So let's quickly jump over to that. I promise this time that I'm not going to make the same mistake, and I'm not going to do the baby roll, but instead do the infant roll. So this time, he needs to get anything but a 12, 16, or 18. So let's jump over to our D20 roller and give it a quick roll. And my fingers are crossed. And he got a 17, you guys, which means he survives. I'm so glad. Thank goodness you guys are on top of all of the death rolls, because I honestly would not have noticed that I did that, and I would have lost Tommy forever. So thank you guys for keeping me on track and ensuring that I do everything correctly. There are a lot of rules, so I do feel like I'm a little bit overwhelmed sometimes, so just bear with me. But of course, to enjoy the celebration a little bit more, I might have Abigail come over and quickly care to Tommy's needs and then age him up. I'd assume that he's only really hungry and maybe needs a diaper change, and then we'll get onto it. Perfect, now we can come over and age him up. And there he goes. Let's quickly randomize his trait, and he got the sunny trait, which I think is so cute. Now I guess it's time that I quickly jump into Kaz with him. Oh my goodness, you guys. Tommy is the cutest little infant. Look at him. He looks so much like his dad, which is good because that's what he did look like in the last episode. So I'm glad to see that it hasn't changed. But I've decided to get Neville to give him a little bit of love. And then I'll quickly change over his crib to an infant one. But now that that scary death roll's out of the way, I do want to move on to the more important things that I had planned today, which is of course to investigate Neville's secret child a little bit more. Since if you guys don't remember, in the last episode, we found out that Neville has a secret child called Tessa that we knew nothing about. So I have actually added her into a lot in Windenburg that I definitely want to go and visit. I do want to bring the whole family along with us, so I'm just going to make sure that all of their needs are up to par and then we'll head there. You know what? They actually all seem pretty good, so I reckon we'll just head over there now. Alrighty, here we are. The whole crew has arrived, and I can already see that little Tessa and her mum Casey are outside. Maybe I might have Neville come over and knock on the door first before we get too into it. Here we go. Let's come over and first introduce ourselves to Casey. I still don't know why she never popped up on Neville's friend tab, but I think that's probably the most appropriate thing to do. She's probably confused as to how Neville found her and what he's doing here, since he hasn't been a part of Tessa's life thus far. And she is a toddler at the moment, so she has gone through quite a bit of her life already. I'd assume she's probably older than our girls, which also kind of works for the story I had planned with this, which I should probably tell you guys. I was kind of imagining, since Neville grew up in a tavern, there would have been lots of people jumping in and out all the time, and I guess before he met Abigail and wanted to settle down, he might have met Casey one night when he was drinking and having some fun, and might have accidentally gotten her pregnant. But since he moved away with Abigail, I assume that Casey was never able to find him and thus never able to get into contact with him. So that's kind of why Tessa is what I assume to be a little bit older than our girls, and why we never found out about this earlier. However, to kind of make things right, I do want to continue chatting with Casey, maybe discussing a little bit of interests, and I might as well have the girls come over and meet their half-sister Tessa. I'm not sure why she's still outside, but technically she is still one of our siblings. But here Nora goes, that was so cute. Oh my goodness. I'm glad she didn't go to bite her or kick her. Maybe we can hug her. I don't know if that'd be going a little bit too far. But you know what? Abigail is surprisingly really fine with this whole situation. I was kind of worried how she was going to react to this, since she has always seen Neville as her only love. So knowing that he has a child with someone else, I thought kind of would at least affect her a little bit, but she seems quite happy with it. However, it actually seems like Neville has had an aggravating conversation. Did they not get along? Oh no, they didn't. Do you guys see that? There's a little bit of negative there. Maybe Casey is really not okay with him leaving and never being able to support Tessa. I could only imagine that in these times, being a single mother would be very hard, so she actually has every right to be angry at Neville. But I do want to try and make things right, so let's come over and apologize somehow. To be fair, Neville never knew that he had a child, so it's not entirely his fault. However, I think it would be right if he does apologize. Oh, and I guess there's really no mending this. They've already started yelling at each other, just as we were trying to be kind. You know what, Neville? We are not having a bad relationship with your baby mama. Or maybe Casey actually doesn't want Neville in her life and that's why she's being so aggressive. I never really thought about that, but it kind of makes sense. I mean, he hasn't been here for her entire life and just out of the blue pops over. This is adding so much more depth to this storyline. You know what though, if Casey doesn't want to speak to him, maybe we can come and speak to our daughter. See if we can at least build a relationship with her. Let's talk about her day. Maybe give her a snuggle if she'll allow, and tell her a story. She is actually very cute, and I can see that she got a lot of her mum, so I'll be interested to see what she looks like when she ages up. But it is looking a lot like a Casey spawn. However, I'm really glad to see them getting along. I guess Casey's not very happy about it. But you know what? She is our child too, and we have every right to see her. And Neville, are you serious? Did you guys just see that? He got a negative reaction towards their friendship. Does he really not want Tessa and Casey to be part of our family? Or is he just really bad at being a father? You know what, Neville? You can try a bit harder. I don't care if you have a bad relationship with Casey, but you're not having a bad one with Tessa. And what is going on? Neville, please, let's tell her a story instead. Why are you so bad at being a father? Come on, let's see if she likes this. Oh, there we go. They just became good friends. Okay, that's cute. I'll let you pass now, Neville. You've done what you needed to do. Maybe we can come over and try and thank Casey. I know that you guys aren't getting along, but it's still the right thing to do. Let's come over and brag about the baby. Oh, he is also expressing his nervousness around new Sims. Maybe that is why he's struggling so much, since he is a very... Oh, no. No. You guys did not just go from arguing to flirting. All we wanted was to come over and thank you for inviting us into your home and letting us meet Tessa, but we're not about to have a little bit of a cheating scandal, and Abigail saw it. I was really hoping that she was not going to see that. But now she feels like she needs to embrace the change of feeling jealous. And you know what? I think I'm actually going to accept it. that does work for Abigail, and I don't think she would have taken that lightly, even though Neville didn't prompt it. But I definitely think that she's going to head home now because she would not like that. Neville, you naughty, naughty boy. Why can you never do things right? You know what? Let's come over and say our goodbyes. I think we're going to avoid Casey at the moment and instead just give our little girl a kiss. I am honestly so gobsmacked that that happened. I could only assume how Abigail is feeling right now. She's really angry because of having a flirty spouse. Abigail's spouse was flirting with another. Have they been doing this behind her back? Oh no, this has not cemented a good idea in Abigail's head. Originally, she was really happy to introduce Casey and Tessa into their little family, but now I definitely feel like we're going to have a lot of issues with that. And I think it's going to be something that Abigail will constantly think about. I do think that Neville has a lot of explaining to do and might actually come over and see if he can chat with Abigail. They did actually lose a little bit of their romance, which makes sense. I'm surprised they didn't lose some of their friendship as well, because that was really cold. But I just think that Neville needs to come clean. I feel like at the moment, Neville is really confused and probably doesn't know what to do about this whole situation. He has tried to sit down and explain himself to Abigail, but she didn't seem very intrigued in the conversation or like she really wanted to know. So I think this is definitely going to have to be something we work on, kind of growing back that trust. However, I guess we won't be doing that tonight since Neville has actually just passed out outside. I guess he really is in the doghouse. However, I think for the moment, I might just have all of them head to sleep and I'll catch you guys in the morning. Alrighty, it is the next day and all of our Sims are still asleep, but I just got the notification that Neville starts work in an hour. So I am going to have him pop up and maybe get started on breakfast. I definitely feel like he has some sucking up to do, so maybe getting the house clean and getting breakfast on the table is the right place to start. But the girls are the next awake and they have both woken up very angry. They're kind of following in their mother's footsteps, I could imagine. However, I might have them quickly come over and grab their breakfast. I definitely feel like Abigail needs a little bit of a sleep in, but I guess having children, that's not going to happen. So maybe we just have Abigail come over and grab some breakfast for herself. I think maybe it's a good thing that Neville went to work. Kind of just gives Abigail some time to breathe and to think. I think deep down in her heart she knows that Neville's not that kind of person, and when they got married they vowed themselves to each other. But I just think, like I said before, they just need a little bit of time for all of the emotions to simmer down. But with that out of the way, I do want to actually tell you guys what I do have planned for today. Since I knew that Neville was going to head to work, I was kind of hoping that Abigail would be able to make some money of her own. So I downloaded this mod where you can send meals to the local market, just because I thought that would be the most effective way for us to make money without having to run a stall, since we do have a lot of kids and one on the way. So Abigail really doesn't have the time to be sitting by a stall and hoping that people come around and buy her meals. So for the moment, we're going to do that, and maybe later on when our kids age up a bit more, we'll be able to buy our own stall. But I'll show you guys what I mean. Once Abigail has cleaned all of this up, I might have her quickly start making a meal. Maybe we'll just make some pottage as our first meal to sell. I'm not sure whether the amount that you make impacts the price, but I guess we'll go big or go home and have her make a party size. I am also hoping that this mod actually works, or else I've just had her make a whole bowl of pottage for no real reason. But I guess we'll skip through and see. Alright, the moment of truth. And it did. Do you guys see this? Sell to the local market for 50 simoleons. You know what? Not too bad. I think we'll do it and see what happens. I'd assume it would just disappear. There we go. And apparently she's on the road to fame. Maybe we just pretend that that's on the road to being acknowledged by the market and known maybe to the royal family potentially. I feel like that could be a cool storyline to go down. But now that I know that that's worked, I might actually have her quickly get all of her needs up as well as the children, and we'll spend the rest of the day making as many meals as we can. Okay, Neville has actually just arrived home and I haven't even got all of the kids' needs up just yet. Abigail has been working tirelessly the past few hours to get all of the kids happy and hasn't even been able to start on the meals yet. So I think now that Neville's home, I might have him take over, clean up some of the mess, and get all of the kids ready. I do really want Abigail to start doing some more cooking, so that's the best way that I can think to do it. However, to start Abigail's cooking off, maybe we can see if we can make some boiled eggs. I might make a family size of this and see if that does impact the price that it sells for. But I also just noticed, you guys, Abigail actually has a fear because of what happened yesterday. She has a fear of being cheated on, which really does suit her so well. I'm so upset. I really don't want this to be a thing. I really hope that isn't Neville's intent and he's not planning to go back that way now that he's seen kind of how much better off Casey and Tessa are. I'm actually a little bit nervous myself, but we'll have to see what Neville decides. I'm not going to push anything too much. If they flirt again, maybe that is a route that we need to go down, since Neville doesn't really show me that he's loyal to Abigail, and we know our Abigail, she deserves nothing less than loyalty. So I don't know, you guys, we'll have to see how it goes. But here's the moment of truth. Let's see if it's the same amount. And Abigail just took one, so we can't sell them. Abigail, are you serious? I cooked those to sell, not to eat. Actually, you know what? She is quite hungry, and I think so is Rachel. Oh no, she's tired. You know what? You can just go to bed. But I guess Abigail is hungry, and she kind of deserves anything she makes. However, this is going to go to waste now because I don't really think anyone else is hungry. Oh, you know what? They are. It is basically dinner time, so maybe we can just have everyone come over and grab a serving. And then I'll take Abigail straight back over and see if we can cook something else. Here we go. Let's make another round of boiled eggs. I'm hoping this time no one decides to take it, or else I'm going to be very upset. Okay, please, don't take a serving this time. No, 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 we're not taking a serving. We're not taking a serving. No! Abigail! Oh my god, okay. Okay. Boiled eggs is just not the go when it comes to selling, you guys. I've just made a whole nother set of boiled eggs. For no apparent reason. Oh, I'm annoyed. And I can't even invite the family over to come and eat it, because I just don't really feel like Abigail and Neville are at a stage where they can have hosts, since they are quite annoyed at each other. I mean, Abigail is genuinely having a mood swing right now, and she's very irritable. I know it's because of her pregnancy, but I can also imagine it's because of the infidelity that we just experienced. So maybe now that all the kids are asleep, it might be a good time for Abigail and Neville to actually sit down. Maybe we can have Neville come over and talk about the marriage and see what they both want. I'm not sure why they've decided to do it in the bathroom, but Abigail, no. Did you guys see that they just lost a lot of their romance? I don't know if Abigail wants this anymore. Do they have any sentiments? No, all of their sentiments are good. Why did she not want to talk about marriage? I don't know, maybe it's just Abigail's insecurities getting to her, which honestly is fair enough. But I think let's just have Abigail care to her needs. Neville, you still need to do a little bit of work to get on Abigail's good side, so please clean that up. I don't really know what we're going to do about these boiled eggs. I guess they don't spoil, so we can use them for breakfast in the morning, but it's just very unfortunate to see. However, we have made a decent amount of simoleons. We're 100 simoleons up than we were, so I would take it as a quite successful day. Maybe before we end it, I might see if I can have Neville come over and do some foraging. Oh, and you know what, you guys? Neville just came back and it seems like they've all put themselves to sleep. So I think we'll say our farewells to the Heidelbrands for now. And I'll catch you guys when we jump back into the Hastings tomorrow. Alrighty, it's a new and hopefully happier day in the Hastings household. It seems like William is the first awake and he's actually come over to chat with Sylvia a little bit, which I think is really cute. Maybe since he's the first up, we can actually have him go and take Sylvia on a little bit of a walk, since we do kind of neglect her a little bit. That means that we'll also have time to wait for everyone else to wake up. Oh, and Abigail just woke up as well, which is perfect. I might have her quickly go use the chamber pot and then get started on some breakfast, since I do want to get the day rolling a little bit quicker today. I am hoping that if all goes to plan, that we'll be able to have our 4 little kids go out today and meet some new kids around the block. I know I said in the last episode when we met Myra that I wanted the kids to make some more friends. So I thought, what better way to do that than going out on the town, and maybe we can make a kind of kids group or something. I think that'll be a really cute way to get to know some more Sims and potentially even meet some new potential love interests for when the kids age up, if they do. So we'll definitely get onto that, but of course, we must start on breakfast. Oh, and that was quick. Breakfast is ready. I did have Elizabeth make some roasted chestnuts today, so maybe we come over and call everyone to meal. I'm so glad to see that most of the kids have woken up with good needs though, because that means that we can immediately jump on to the fun activities for today. So I think I might just skip through a little bit until they're feeling a bit better, and then we'll head maybe to the tavern. I'm not too sure where medieval children would hang out, but I'm sure we'll find somewhere. Alrighty, and by some miracle, I managed to get all of the kids' needs up decently to go out. And I also added in this little park that I plan to take them to. I just really thought that the tavern really wasn't a vibe for them. So let's go and investigate the new park. And here we are. I am unfortunately lacking on a lot of fun children things to do. So I've just added in a little puppet place, some drawing tables, a rustic swing set, and that's basically it, unfortunately. But I thought it would be better than just taking them to the tavern, so we might as well have all of our Sims come over. Maybe we can have a few of them jump on the swings. However, I'm hoping that we have some more children come along, since I do really want them to meet more kids, and that's kind of the whole reason we've gone out here. I might actually see if I can have Harris, quote unquote, invite Myra over. I know to make it more time appropriate, we can just pretend that we send her a letter or something. Actually, they probably wouldn't even be able to write. Maybe we can just pretend that Myra came anyway. Because I really want everyone to meet each other. But I might quickly search around and see if I can see any loitering children. I'm not betting on it, but at the end of the day, you never know. And I'm not having any luck. You know, maybe we can just come over and have the kids watch the puppet show. I'm not sure who's performing it, but it doesn't matter to us. Oh, and some kids have actually just arrived. Same with Myra. I'm so surprised. For a second I thought this was Hamish because they look weirdly similar. But this is actually Jared. Maybe we have Hamish come over and introduce himself. And we can have Sigrid come over and introduce herself to Kate. Oh, look at them all talking. Anne has actually come over and started to talk to Myra, which I think is really cute. Hamish and Jared seem to be hitting it off, which is good. Maybe they can goof around a bit. And I'm not sure why Sigrid hasn't come over to chat with Kate a little bit more. Maybe they can play make-believe. Oh, and you're kidding! One of the other little medieval children that I added, Kelsey, was actually running the puppet show. Maybe we can have Harris come over and introduce himself. Let's give a friendly introduction. I'm curious to see who's the best of friends at the moment. It seems like Sigrid has taken a liking to Kate and Anne to Kelsey. Oh, maybe not. Where is Anne? Oh my goodness, I thought Anne was over there talking. What are you doing? She is really being naughty today. I never would have expected that from little Miss Anne over here. You know what? Maybe you can come over and watch the puppet show that Jared is performing for us. I'm also just thinking, I'm pretty sure it's Mira, so I don't know why I keep saying Myra. If I continue saying that, just ignore it. But nonetheless, maybe we'll have Hamish come over and trick her with a hand buzzer, because if you guys don't remember, they kind of got off on the wrong foot last episode, so I'm curious to see if they like each other today. I think she actually liked it this time, which is good, and Hamish just reached level 3 of mischief. I love it. Maybe we will have a few little accomplices to our mischief. Okay, Sigrid, not you two. We're not all doing this. I know that you're meant to be the mischievous type, but come on. And Harris, you too? No, we're not doing this. You're meant to be the responsible one. Everyone else I can get past, but you, no. You can actually come and clean all this up. Oh, look at them messing around. This is so funny. Nobody tell Harris though, because I don't think he'd be really happy to find out that Hamish is kind of messing around with his potential crush. And actually, you know what? Maybe I can have Anne come over and put on a little bit of a puppet show for everyone. Let's perform Lost in the Woods for everyone that we can. I guess everyone else is pretty busy. And there is no way that Harris just took that opportunity from Anne. He really is trying to impress everyone, I feel. But oh no, I think I spoke too soon. Harris is already getting on the nerves of Mira again. I'm not sure what he's done this time, but I guess there really just isn't any hope for these two. Maybe you can come over and watch the puppet show instead, Hamish. Actually, no, what? Scratch that. Maybe you can come over here with Jared and push him on the swings. Jared was really the only sim that Hamish got along with today, so I feel like we should just foster that relationship a little bit more. Oh, look at them! This is so cute! I hope they gain friendship from this because I can really see them be best friends. And you know what? It is actually getting really late. The puppet show seems to have finished and a lot of the Sims have actually seemed to go home or are heading home. So I think we'll follow in their lead and have all the Sims jump back home for some late dinner. Oh, I love to see that we still have some roasted chestnuts awaiting us. There's only 2 servings left, so maybe we have some of the kids quickly jump over and grab a serving, and I can have Elizabeth get onto something else. There we go, everyone's just having their dinner, and I think I'm going to skip through to when the kids jump into bed, and we'll have some alone time with Elizabeth and William. And just like that, there's a little bit more peace and quiet. It seems like Elizabeth is already off to a flirty start. Maybe we can see if William is in the mood as well by chucking him a little flirt. Oh, he's into it. Maybe we can also do a little bit of a sexy pose and express our fondness. Thankfully, Anne's just about to jump into bed, so you guys don't have to wait very much longer. Let's see if we can come over and do a little bit of a woohoo. I feel like they haven't had one of these moments in such a long time, so you know what? While they're finishing off the night with a little bit of a woohoo, I might skip through till our final day, and I'll catch you guys then. Alrighty, you guys, it is the next and final day. All of our Sims are awake and are immediately caring to their needs because I'm very excited for today's plans, which include aging up Sigrid. It is, of course, her birthday where she ages up from a child to a teenager. So I'm quite nervous, but also excited. I really want to see what she looks like, but I'm just hoping that she surpasses the death roll because I honestly can't live without our little Sigrid. She was our first everything, and I think it'd be really heartbreaking if we have to say goodbye to her today. So my fingers are crossed. But of course, I don't want to dwell too much on it, and I do know that we need to start with breakfast. So for today, I'm kind of thinking that we make some cheese and bread since it is quite a joyous occasion. I feel like we haven't had a birthday in this household for so long, so I'm kind of excited to make a full thing out of it. But on the topic of birthdays, I feel like it's also right to let you guys know that I don't plan to be jumping into the royal household anymore, or at least not on camera. I will definitely be doing it in my own time to kind of keep up with their household, but I feel like for the moment, we've got 4 households to look after now. We've got the Hastings, the Heidelbrands, the Batemans, which is Neville's kind of side, and the royal family, and I feel like it's a little bit much, especially since I'm always struggling to keep up with all of the death rolls and the right amounts. So I feel like I'm just going to make it easier for myself and trim it down to the 3 peasant households. Of course, if anything interesting happens in the royal household, I will let you guys know. I mean, I do actually need to jump in there to age up Jerome, so if he passes, I will of course let you guys know in the next episode, but I hope you guys don't mind too much. I just think for the sake of my video quality and just how much we're able to do, I think we need to cut it down. So let me know what you guys think. But of course, I do want to continue with their needs as always. Maybe I can see if the bath is free and have Hamish come over. Thankfully, everyone else has helped themselves to breakfast and decided that the children's room is the room to eat in today. But I do want to skip past this and also see if I can get a cake on the way. Oh no! What? No, Elise is dying! No, I was hoping to sell them today! No, guys, I didn't make it. One of our chicks is passing away, but you know what? That's okay. We still have a few more animals to sell before the famine, and I guess it's only fair that we say a proper goodbye to one of them. Oh, that's so unfortunate. You know what? Speaking of our animals, though, maybe let's come over and actually feed and clean them since we do still have one more day left with them before the famine. I feel like I'll sell all of the animals at the end of the episode just because I kind of want them today and I'm not really ready to say bye yet. Here we go, the cake is served. I am watching it like a hawk. We are putting birthday candles on this. Okay, wait. No. You're not using the chamber pot yet? Please put candles. Oh, okay, we did it. Nobody has taken a serving, which means that Sigrid will have a cake for her birthday. However, it seems like a lot of the Sims have finally come over. Charlie, Arnold, and Mary are here, and Abigail is as well. However, interestingly, I don't see Neville anywhere. I don't know if they're still kind of on the outs with each other, but this is very interesting to note. Oh, William's just having a chat with Abigail. Maybe we should ask how she is. He is probably curious as to why Neville's not here and might be asking her what's going on and if everything's alright at home. I wish it would tell you, but she seems to be okay. Maybe she just needs a little bit of a moment with her family. But you know what? I feel like it's time that we actually have everyone come over and celebrate Sigrid. I mean, that is why we're all gathered here today, so we might as well. And it seems like everyone's gathered. Let's come over and have Sigrid blow out her candles. Here she goes. Oh, this is so exciting. Yay! And here she goes. Sigrid has aged up. I did kind of forget that she had the cheerful trait, but we will randomize another one. And she has randomized the outgoing trait, which I think is really interesting. A lot of these are to do with social, so maybe we make one of her lifetime aspirations something to do with being social. Maybe we do popularity and see if she wants to be the neighborhood confidant. I am going to quickly pop her into Kaz now though and see what we're working with, and I'll jump back when I'm finished. Oh my gosh, you guys, Sigrid is adorable. Let's just take a moment to appreciate her. Look at how cute she is. She looks a lot like her mum, but I definitely feel like she's going to be a little bit of a heartbreaker. I think William knows it too. Maybe that's why he's sitting down with her to kind of put her in her place and make sure that she's not immediately going to go run away with someone. Thankfully, it seems like Abigail has come to her rescue though. Maybe we can actually have her come over and chat with Elizabeth a little bit more. Let's come and share secret. And we can also have a little bit of a deep conversation. Maybe Sigrid feels like she can go to Abigail for kind of any worry she has. However, it doesn't really feel like there's a worry on her mind at the moment. She is feeling super playful because it's her birthday. But of course, now that we've done all of this celebrating, I do need to stop that for a moment and quickly pop over and do her death roll. I'm very nervous for this one, I won't lie. But just so you guys are aware, since this is our first teenager roll, Sigrid needs to get anything but a 7. So let's jump over and give it a quick roll. I'm praying, and she got a 13. That is wonderful. We don't have to say goodbye to our little Sigrid today, and we can fully enjoy this festive spirit. Oh, I'm so glad. And Abigail actually just gave her a hug too. I think she does have to head out though, because although her and Neville are still going through a little bit of a rough patch at the moment, she still does have children to take care of. And wait one second. Does she not have a baby bump anymore? Oh my goodness. She has had her 4th baby. We are definitely going to have to go over and check on that, but not today. Today is Sigrid's day, so let's come over and have Sigrid grab some of her cake. You know what this means now, you guys. We are going to have to either find or make a new love interest for Sigrid. Unfortunately, she's not going to be able to be our heir. However, I still want to make sure that she is set up well for her life, kind of like Abigail. So maybe in the next episode, we might also be able to see if we can meet a potential suitor for her. It doesn't seem like our Sims were very hungry though, which is quite unfortunate. I know the cheese and bread we can salvage since it doesn't have a spoil date. But unfortunately, I feel like we're not going to be able to eat any of our sponge cake. Which, you know what, that's alright. They did have a big breakfast, so I don't blame them. However, now that that's over with, I do need to quickly jump on to the last point of call for today, which is unfortunately selling our animals. Because, of course, the famine starts in the next episode, so we really need to get on to prepping us, since they're only going to be allowed to have one meal a day, and we're not allowed to keep any livestock since we don't really have the food to provide for them. So I might see if I can have William come over and trade our chickens. I can only imagine how upset Anne is going to be at the fact that we're losing all of these animals. And I'm not actually sure how it works for dogs. So I might have to check back in the challenge rules, but I'm hoping we can keep Sylvia. It'd be really upsetting if we can't. But unfortunately, our roosters, Bob and Paul, are not going to meet the same fate, I don't feel. So let's call them in. I'm actually not entirely sure how we trade them. I think we need them to be inside the coop. Let's see if we can try with Belle. Oh, we can't. Oh, wait, here we go. Trade for. I kind of want to see what ingredients we can trade for. Actually, I don't know if that means that we trade her. You know what? Let's actually trade her for some simoleons. I know that's kind of a cheap way out, but I feel like we should instead sell the chickens for ingredients. So goodbye, little Belle. I'm so upset to see you go, but we just can't look after you, and someone else will look after you better than we can. Now let's come over and sell our chickens too. They're only worth $75, so maybe we see if we can trade one of them for ingredients. Maybe we'll sell Bob for ingredients. Oh, they just get whisked away and we get the ingredients delivered to us. Okay. Well, maybe we also trade Paul as well. We might as well get some ingredients. There we go. We've sold all of our livestock. There is nothing in our coop or our shed to look after besides little Sylvia. And you know what? Before we end the episode, I feel like I actually might come and care to Sylvia a little bit. Let's give her a bath. But I think on that very sad yet happy note, I am going to end this episode here. It has been such a crazy episode. We have thankfully managed to surpass a few death rolls with our Sims, as well as even witnessed a strange romantic interaction between Neville and his baby mama, which I think we're going to have to investigate more. I just wish it didn't come this abruptly, since our next episode is the famine, and I don't really know how we're going to go with the Sims that survive and the Sims that don't. So it's going to be very interesting, and I feel like it might fine-tune what we do with our households. So that'll be interesting to see. But of course, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I can't wait to see you next time. But for now, bye everyone.